What's up, y'all? Howdy doody, howdy doody. I know I ain't been on here in a while. And since I never ever put content on this channel anymore, it probably is buried at the very bottom of everybody's subscription feed. But we'll see if we can get a couple of people tuned in here. I was getting pretty good at it, man. I was coming back on here and having a good little chat and thinking of a fun, interesting, stimulating topic a few times a week. And then I'm just like, man, I don't feel like running my mouth in the morning. So, as I stated several times over the past couple of months of 2023, 2024 is projected to be a pretty big year. And nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. That is still a lot of really cool things in the works. Run a little bit slower than what I anticipated, but that's fine because, you know, the things that are cooking up in the works are some pretty big things that I want to make 100% sure I'm ready for. There's a couple of you up in here, huh? Couple of you. I was just saying that this channel is probably buried at the bottom of everybody's fucking subscription feed now because I'm never on it anymore. Actually, let me see. Hang on, let me do something. Let me do something real quick. Maybe I can share it on my main channel. There's a couple more of you up in here. Hang on. But you know, I've noticed that this weird thing happens when you share stuff. Like it's so funny because anybody I've ever tried to help out who wants to get a YouTube channel going, it's so weird because I'll tell them, I'm like, dude, just put a couple of videos on your channel and I'll share them on my community tab, you know, to get you a boost and get your name out there. The algorithm does something weird when you share videos because every single person I've ever done this to, I'll share their video and it'll get a few thousand views, you know, maybe 5,000, something like that. But then if they post a video and I don't share it, nobody views it because nobody sees it. It's still buried at the very bottom of their list, you know? So, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? We got a few of you in here. Who we got? Meredith, Wise, Discussion, Tarot, Michaela. What's up, y'all? So anyway, let me just see. Hang on. Let me see if I can. Boom, 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 boom. I'm doing this on my laptop. Can I still share? Hang on. Get a couple of people up in here. Do. Let's see. There I am. Okie dokie. I still got the old trusty dusty MacBook, man. MacBook Air. I got this back in 2021. Will it let me? Oh, create post. Yes, I can. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's have a chat. All right, cool. Maybe we'll get a couple more of you up in here. What y'all up to, man? I know I ain't been on here in a minute. Shannon, Adventures with Gypsy. What's up, y'all? How you doing? I know I ain't on here that much anymore, man. Like I was saying at the beginning, though, I've been gearing up for some pretty big plans for the year, you know. Some I can talk about, some I can't. But what I can talk about, and this isn't the reason why I came on here. I'm just, you know, letting you know some of the things that are coming up. The event in Texas next month. That's coming up quick. It's going to be a big event, man. It's going to be badass. I was invited by Rion, and the Team Light people, you know. there's going to be some pretty cool people there. Some people from Gaia. I think a couple of people who have been on the History Channel, you know, are going to be there and be putting on some pretty cool events. It's kind of like one of these events like Disclosure Fest and what do you call it? What's the other one? Conscious Life Expo. You know, it's going to be something very similar to that, but it's going to be right there in Bastrop, Texas, where the eclipse is going to be. We're going to see a full blackout of the eclipse right there. So I'm going to be going. I got a speech that I'm giving. David is going to be giving a speech, and we're also going to be shooting an episode of the Awakening Experience there. But that's not all. You know, there's so many other people that are going to be there. It's going to be a badass event, dude. I'm kind of stoked. We're going to be, we're not flying. We're going to be driving with David. David is, he's got this big ass RV, huge fucking RV. And we're going to be riding with that. And we're not getting a hotel on the ride down there. We're just going to park the RV and stay in it because it's got this big RV where me and Leah can have one room and him and Sophia and the baby can have another room in the RV, you know. So it's going to be fun, man. But yeah, man, 2024's predicted to be, like I said, a pretty big year, but there's also some other things in the works that I can't really talk about publicly. But so I've been kind of laying low for the first couple of months of 2024, you know, kind of laying low, getting adjusted to living in California. And I guess now it's been a year ago this month that we moved here. And I'm starting to feel kind of adjusted here, you know. I won't lie. My heart still lives in Las Vegas. My heart still lives there, man. I ain't gonna lie. But we're getting kind of adjusted here, you know. And maybe, because I can remember, actually I was listening to one of my old chats a week or so ago. I had forgotten about this. I didn't like it when we first moved to Vegas either. And I had forgotten about that until I listened to an old chat from like 3 years ago. And I said that. I said, now that we've been here for a year, it's starting to kind of grow on me and I'm starting to like it. And I was like, that's right. That's right. I didn't like it when we first moved to Vegas. That's right. Because I didn't. Because we moved from Bullhead City, Arizona, which was a teeny little one-horse town. That's basically like a little teeny weeny miniature Las Vegas there at Bullhead City and Laughlin, you know, essentially. It's a teeny little town and not crowded at all. And then we moved to Vegas, which is fucking crowded. I had to rearrange my everything that I like to do, you know, because it was so damn crowded. You go shopping at the store and it's like you're waiting to leave the aisle. You're like literally you get to the end of an aisle and there's people coming. It's like pulling out into fucking traffic, dude. Like for real, just grocery shopping. It's like your goddamn cart is a fucking car, dude, you know? And oh man, it took me a minute to get adjusted to that. But after about a year, it really started feeling like home. And I really started falling in love with that place, you know? And my heart still lives there, man. I'm not gonna lie. The last couple times we went back, it was hard. It was tough. It was very difficult. But oh well, new stories, man. New experiences. I've told you all a million times. My number one goal is, by the time I'm an old ass man laying on my deathbed, looking back at my life, I want to look back at a fucking awesome story. I think that's what it's all about, man. That's me, at least, you know. What's that, Michaela? You talking about the Team Light interview? The interview with Rion? Yeah, he's a character, man. He's interesting. So here's the funny thing about how I got hooked up with them. I was originally supposed to speak at Disclosure Fest, originally. But that was like apparently some big clusterfuck because I was supposed to speak, and whoever was running the show, whoever it was that was running the whole thing, wouldn't get back to anybody until like a week before the event. So David didn't even know what room he was going to be in. He didn't even know like exactly what he was doing. And then, so right up there a week before Disclosure Fest, they kicked like a bunch of people off the lineup, and I was one of them. And I was kind of pissed. I was like, well, fuck. But my friend, well, Case from Everyday Masters, you all know Everyday Masters, he was going to fly out to see me speak. And he had already bought a ticket and booked a room. And I was like, fuck. Dude, I got my homie going to fly to Vegas from Colorado to see me speak, and they kicked me off the lineup. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm still going to Vegas. I'm still going, man. Y'all know that Case, not only is he a buddy of mine, but he was a huge player in influencing me on my spiritual path. I became a fan of his long before I even had a YouTube channel, you know? So I mean, I consider him a really good buddy and kind of an important friend. He may be a long distance friend, you know, but he's like soul family, and he's flying all the way out to Vegas. Of course, it ended up turning out that he wasn't only coming out to see me. He was also flying out to see Bashar, you know? So I was like, I still feel like I should go to Vegas. I don't know why, but I feel like I should go. So we went, and we had a fucking amazing time. And that's where I met Rion and his wife and a bunch of other people there. And that's how I ended up getting hooked up with the Team Light people. So that ended up being like, so that's why I still felt called to go to Vegas. You know, because that's how I ended up hooking up with Rion. And then he invited me to one of his own events, because apparently Disclosure Fest ended up being turned into like a Gaia thing. You have to, I don't know how much I can say publicly, but it wasn't supposed to be a Gaia event, really. But they kind of like came in and took over. But anyway, so he's like, man, I'm just throwing my own event. I'm throwing my own event down there in Texas. You want to come speak at that? Fucking come on. So it's going to be fun, man. But yeah, he's a character, man. That Rion is a character. He's a very interesting, otherworldly individual. Like, definitely. So, anyway. Oh, I've been following me since the start of my journey? Wow. Wow. Cool. Yep, that's where we'll be. Right there near Austin for the eclipse. Absolutely. I don't know if there's any rooms left, because Rion bought a bunch of rooms and you know, was saving them for people to book them out, because you know that where that eclipse is going to be, all across the country, those areas are going to be all booked out with hotels and shit, you know. So anyway, anywho, yeah, Case is cool as hell. He's powerful too, man. I'm gonna tell you what. He has got to be the most powerful light worker I've ever met. When I say powerful light worker, this motherfucker can just put his hand up. As soon as I see him put his hand up, my body lights on fire. I'm like, bzzz. It's so fucking crazy. I remember when he gave me my first session, he did it over Zoom. And I didn't even really have any expectations, you know. I just wanted to have a Zoom call with him because I was a huge fan of his. You know, I've been watching him, like I said, since before I even had a fucking YouTube channel. So I was like, fucking hey, man, I'm gonna get a chance to connect personally one-on-one with somebody that I was a huge fan of, who played a major role in influencing me on my path. So he offered to give me a session. And I'm like, well, sure. But I honestly didn't have any expectations. I really didn't. Not to say that I didn't believe him. I just couldn't wrap my mind around what it is that he does. I just didn't know what to expect. So I laid down, and my fucking body starts buzzing like a goddamn Christmas tree or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And now, still to this day, anytime I see him, all he's got to do is just put his hand up and my whole body goes bzzz. That's fucking nuts, man. But yeah, man, he's cool as hell. He's very, very, very good at what he does. Very good at what he does. Very good. So he's definitely got a pretty important mission in this lifetime. Absolutely. Oh, your legs began to twitch? Yeah. He'll do that to you. Holy shit, man. He'll definitely do that. But now, let's see, that was that was in the beginning of 2022, wasn't it? So that was 2 years ago. Holy shit, that flew by. Wow. So now, every day, every single day, at least once a day, I have to lay down, meditate, and pull the frequencies in. I'll be over there at my reading table. There's my little messy workstation over there. That's my messy workstation over there. I'll be over there at my reading table. I'll be over there for fucking hours, 2-3 hours, doing videos and tarot readings, and I'll start getting drained. And I'm like, I get so just drained. And I'll have to lay down and meditate. And I'll bring the frequencies in. It lights my body on fire. Now, I know when I say that, it sounds like it's a bad thing. It doesn't feel bad. It feels fucking amazing. It feels like a whole body massage from the inside. And I'll meditate like that. Well, I mean, the goal is to fall asleep and take a nap. That's the goal. But, you know, at least here lately, I've been having a hard time falling asleep. And I do think, like I said, it has a lot to do with the fact that I use this stuff. I don't know. But I've been having a hard time actually falling asleep. So I'll just fall into a meditative state. But still, I snap out of it fucking recharged, refreshed, like, yeah, you know? It's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, no, I think time has doubled. Literally doubled. And I don't just say that flippantly. I'm like literally doubled. Ever since 2020. I don't know if it's... I don't know. I don't know why since 2020. Because they flipped the fucking world upside down in 2020. And yeah, it was just such a big, huge, crazy adjustment for everybody, maybe. I don't know why. Ever since 2020, time has doubled. Like it's not just been speeding up, it has literally doubled. And like now it's 2024. And I keep getting so confused when I see like memories come up on Facebook from a year ago. I still feel like I'm in 2023. I still feel like 2022 was a year ago, less than a year ago. Like every year that passes feels like 6 months or less. It's amazing. I don't even know how to explain it. And it's only been happening since 2020. You know, everybody always says, well, it flies by faster the older you get. Well, yeah, that's true. It does. But it's nothing like what happened post 2020. And dude, it's insane. Freaks me out a little bit too, because it's like, man, am I running out of time? I got to make sure I'm doing the most and making the best of it, you know? But yeah, it's been crazy, man. And it's probably going to just keep getting crazier. Probably. So, anywho, though. Yeah. What are y'all up to, man? Let's see. What time is it here? It is 6:17 a.m. here in SoCal. The time change is kind of fucking with me a little bit, because I guess now it would technically be 5 a.m., right? That's so ridiculous. Time change is so stupid. That's the one thing that was cool about living in Arizona, because they don't do that over there. I would always ask, it never made sense to me when I was a kid. I would like ask my grandpa, why did they change the time? And he would say, because it gets dark earlier. And I'm like, no, it gets dark earlier because you changed the time. What? It's never made sense to me. Ever. I've never been able to, I mean, every time you ask that question, you get a different answer. You know, you always have people that think they know everything and they give this big long explanation as to why and how the seasons are and you know, this and that. And it's like, yeah, but there's states that don't do that. And it makes more sense, like in Arizona where they don't change the time at all. Like ever. And I think there's like one other state. Makes sense. There's nothing weird that happens as far as, you know, it getting dark earlier or later. I don't know, when I lived up there in Maine, dude, it would be nighttime at 4:30 in the afternoon. 4:30 in the afternoon, the sun's going down. By 5, midnight on the East Coast up there in Maine. I'm like, holy shit. So, I don't know, man. I think it's stupid. But if they didn't change the time, yeah, it might still be getting dark a little bit earlier, but not that goddamn early. It's way earlier, you know? Oh, well. Stupid Earth game and the dumb shit they do here. Just got back from a car show. That sounds like fun. I ain't been to nothing like that in a while. Man, we don't really get out and do much of nothing here. Not much. Not in Cali anymore. Not really. We pretty much just sit home and don't fucking do nothing. We don't do nothing. Of course, everything here too it's true. It is true that everything in California is ridiculously expensive. Ridiculously. You know? I was scared to move here because of all the rumors. You know, you hear all these nightmare horror stories. And since living here, I will say that 95% of the rumors and the horror stories that I heard about California are not true. Not fucking true at all. Now, I'm not saying like maybe some other cities are worse than others, but I'm going to tell you what, in this town we live in, I have not seen the first homeless bum at the store. None. Not one. Not one. I have not seen the first panhandling by the highway. Not one. Not one. There is no crime in this town. None. You know, whenever you go to a town, from time to time, you'll hear the police sirens, you know, police getting into a police chase or something like that. Don't hear that here. You never see cops having people pulled over. Now, I'm not saying it never ever happens in the history of ever never. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. You don't see the police patrolling everywhere, pulling people over. Like there's no crime in this town. I'm pretty sure. I don't even think there's any fucking drugs in this town, dude. I don't think so. May sound kind of weird, but I don't think there's any crime in this town. There's no drugs in this town. This is so quiet here in this town that we live in. Of course, we're in Chino Hills, so we're kind of like up in the hills. We are actually up in the hills. Like I'm on top of a hill right now. You got to drive up a hill to get to our house. And then if you look out our back window, our bedroom window, you see a hill right outside our house where we're on the top of the hills, you know. Maybe down in Chino, there's a little bit more of that shit going on down there. Maybe, possibly. I don't know, but most of the rumors about California were not true that I've heard. But it is fucking stupid expensive here, dude. Stupid expensive. Stupid. Ridiculous. Like to the point to where it's like, you know, this is done on purpose. You know. You got to have an abundance mindset to make it in California. That's the way I've been looking at it. I've been looking at it like, oh, okay, so this really is my level up. This really is my level up. So in order to make it to the next level, you have to change your perception and your perspective. So this whole past year has been rearranging my perception and my perspective, you know, of what's expensive and what's not. So it has to change. Your frequency has to change in your perception from the inside first before it can manifest on the outside. And it's been a tough one. This has been a rough one. Like, it's crazy expensive here. So for the past year, I've been working on upgrading my abundance mindset, upgrading it to the next level. And it's tricky. It's like a game, dude. It's like we're in a fucking game. And your character upgrades from the inside. It's all in the way you see things and the way you feel about things and the way you perceive things, you know? So, but like I said, 2024 is projected to be a pretty good year. It's going to be a crazy year one way or the other. And I use the word crazy very ambiguously. For some people, it'll be crazy good. For some people, it'll be crazy bad. Just like last election year, you know? But anywho, how much was I making? I don't talk about how much money I make. A lot. A lot. 6 figures. My first year. I made 6 figures my first year. So it was good. Very comfortable. But we don't need to throw numbers out there. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, but again, it's been also a culture shock here too, especially in this town. It's been, because this town is a major like melting pot where I think you all have heard me say this in a chat before, but like there's only 20% white people in this town. It's 60% Asian. Let's see if I can remember the numbers. It was 60% Asian, 20% white, 15% Hispanic, and 5% black. So there's a major culture shock here too, but it's quiet. It's amazing, dude. I don't know. But honestly, we don't want to stay in this town after this is our last year in this town. We're going to be planning to bust some moves after our lease is up next year, you know? So I don't know. This has been an interesting little experience here, but you know, very, very temporary. Anywho though, what y'all up to? Y'all out busting moves and doing things to add to your story. That's what it's all about, man. That is what it's all about. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the cacti of Arizona. Yeah. No, I still got my fucking cactuses. What are you talking about, man? I still got them. I just got a new one. Look, I'll show you the new one I just got. I got a baby fire barrel, dude. These things grow up to be some badass motherfuckers. They get red spines. You can already see some of the red starting to come in there. Also got a baby golden barrel too, man. So just got these the other day. They sit there in my reading table so they can trap some negative energy. And then springtime's coming, so I'm gonna have to put these things outside here soon. But they can survive for a little bit indoors. But yeah, I still got my cactuses. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? These are my babies, man. They trap negative energy. And I didn't even know that when I first started getting into them. It wasn't until further research that I found out that some people will even put a cactus next to their computer because it traps like, what do they call it? EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. Like a cactus can actually absorb and trap certain frequencies and energies. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So you bet your damn skippy ass my house is surrounded by them. And I like to have them up there at my reading table too. So for the past several weeks, I'll have some of them. I'll put like 4 of them surrounding my table. and then I'll switch them out and take them outside and bring some of the ones outside in here, you know, so. Oh, hang on. And I also got these little dudes. This is a baby Rita. I've had this one since Vegas. So this one's been here for a little bit. And you see, look, man, there's already new growth coming in on these, so they're gonna have to come out soon. This pad in the back here was originally a pad growing off of this, but somebody accidentally kicked it and broke it off. So I just had to stick it in the dirt back here. And it rooted. And you see that new growth coming in, a new pad's coming out there. A new pad's coming out there. And 2 new pads are coming out of this one here. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna set this one right here. This is gonna have to go outside today because it's already getting new growth coming in. So, but yes, I do miss these saguaros. Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But I have a saguaro here. So, yeah. A lot of them. Whenever the hell we decide to buy a house. I don't know when we're going to do that. Of course, after this year, after the next couple of years, you all know things are going to be crazy in the financial world. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that sooner. Maybe we'll do it later. I don't know. But, yeah, there's a lot of these that are going to be going in the ground. All right, let me go put these back. Hang on. But yeah, fuck yeah, man, I still got my cactuses. What you talking about? All right. Oh, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. I just wanted to get on here and touch base. Bonsais are doing real good. I just repotted the first starter juniper that I got when we moved here. I went to a nursery and bought a juniper and wired it up and styled it up. And it's been sitting all year last year. I even bought a special Japanese handmade pot for it. And finally just yesterday, or day before yesterday, I finally repotted it. So, anyway though, anywho. Yeah, oh yeah, I got to have my plants, man. I don't know what it is. Man. It's like I communicate with them. Like, for real, I do. It may sound weird, but I fucking do. Like, you develop that when you connect with a plant, dude. You can connect with a plant just like you can connect with an animal. Like, I seriously communicate with them no different than I do the cats. Like, vibrationally. I don't sit and talk to them, but, you know, vibrationally and energetically, you feel that same connection you feel with a damn cat. And I just started hearing a lot of studies, and I wasn't even looking for it. This is the funny thing. I wasn't even researching it, wasn't looking for it, but all of a sudden I stumbled upon where some scientists have been studying that plants are sentient, and not only are they sentient, but a lot of them, especially trees, can, and I don't remember the exact science behind it, but they can recognize colors. Like, a tree can somehow see the color of your shirt somehow. Something like that. I don't know. It's like, what in the world? Cool. I knew that I felt some sort of connection with him. I knew it, you know? So, anyway, yeah, always got to have my plants, man. Always. And the baby pine trees that are in my pot outside. I don't know if some of y'all saw where I was talking about that. I have a purple prickly pear in a pot that I've had since we lived in Vegas. And for those of you who remember my Vegas house, we had a huge, enormous pine tree in the front yard. I mean, this thing was fucking enormous. It was at least 60 feet tall. It was huge. And that thing would drop pine cones every fucking where. And it wasn't nothing for pine cones to fall in my plant pots. And I never thought anything of it. And we get here to California. I put that pot out front of this house, and it's near a sprinkler. So a sprinkler would shoot in the morning and get the inside of that pot wet, and then all these seeds from the pine tree in Vegas started blooming. Now I got a bunch of baby pine trees growing in that little pot out there. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty daggum neat. Yeah, I mean, I like as far as a cactus, man. I mean, I just think they're cool as fuck. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them, like, you could break it off like a prickly pear. Now you want to be careful with this if you're near anywhere where prickly pears grow, but you can cut one of the pads off. You can just walk up to a prickly pear growing in the wild, cut one of the pads off. You say, I love that plant. Cut the fucking pad off, take it home, stick it in the dirt. Bam, it'll grow roots and become a totally new plant. I'm like, holy shit. But you want to be careful because them little fuckers they got these little hairs, these little spiky hairs all over them. And if you got to be careful handling that thing or you'll have all these little spiky little hairs in your hand. And they're a bitch to sit and pick out, you know. But yeah, they're cool, man. Fascinating. And the saguaros and the cardones. The ones that get real big, like 50 feet tall, and they grow those arms. Fuck yeah, dude. I got a few of those, the little baby ones. And whenever we decide to buy a house, they're going to go in the ground. Going to go in the ground like a tree, man, you know? Anywho, though, I'm probably going to hop off here in a couple of minutes. Just wanted to jump on in and say what's up. Yeah, little prickly pears, they can be a pain in the ass sometimes. But I mean, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where, you know how to handle it, and if you accidentally get some in you, you just look and, you know, like this one time, it was so funny. Back when we lived in Arizona, the apartment we lived in before we moved to Vegas, the kids were playing outside, and we told them to stay in a very specific area, very specific. And one of my kids came home. She fell in a prickly pear cactus, and she had them fucking little hairs all down her leg and all on her feet. And that's how she got busted. We're like, we told you not to go over there. We know exactly where you went. There ain't no prickly pears anywhere near where we told you that you weren't supposed to go. So that's how she got busted. She like tripped and fell or ran into it or something like that. And I sat there for a good hour with tweezers, pulling all those little hairs all from her knee down to her foot. Anyway, though, anywho, probably gonna hop off here in a couple of minutes. Just wanted to hop on here and touch base. Like I said, basically around here, we're just gearing up for big things to come, man. You know, lots of cool plans are still in the works career-wise. Like I said, some I can talk about, some I can't. And yeah, that's the main reason why I kind of don't come on here very much anymore, because don't have a whole lot to talk about. I'm a boring ass dude. This is where I live, basically. That's where I spend the overwhelming majority of my days, over there at my workstation here in my little studio. This is where I hang out by myself when I wake up in the morning until everybody in the house wakes up, and we just sit at home and work, and that's all we do. Don't really get out and do much anymore. We went out to eat last night for the first time in I don't know how long, you know, so yeah. Again, I'll try to make it a point to get on here more often, but nothing's promised. Depends on what all's going on in life. So I'll probably, as things start rolling, I'll probably be hopping on here more and touching base as things start rolling and changes start happening and whatnot. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm ready for them to throw the shit show, dude. We all know that 2024 they're gonna put on a shit show at some point. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm like, come on, let's just fucking get this going now. Let's do it. But I'm not thinking that it's gonna happen before Aries season. So we'll probably have to get through Pisces season before things really start rolling and changing, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on out of here, man. I don't know when I'll be on here next. Maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you all later on my main channel. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.